In 1953, an extremist Shiite cleric established an organization called the Hujjatiyya Society. Now this was disbanded in 1983, having conducted in the interim period of 30-odd years a clearly antagonistic and anti-Baha'i activity. In fact, its fundamental purpose was the eradication of the Baha'i community. Of recent times, we've seen an upsurge and a reactivation of this society. It has been observed being more active in Iranian political circles and in religious circles as well. Given the policies that are in place as a result of the Golpagani Memorandum, that is that Baha'is be frustrated at every point possible, this government memorandum, this is of particular concern.
David, tell us, what is the current situation with regard to Baha'i youth being able to gain access to tertiary education?
Since 1979, when the Islamic Revolution took place, Baha'is have been specifically excluded from entering into any academic tertiary institution. Now this is of particular concern because regardless of the marks of the results from entrance examinations that Baha'i youth and others have had, they have not been allowed to attend these organizations. The strategy used was to record the Baha'is as Muslim. Now this is untrue. When the Baha'is requested that their allegiance to the Baha'i faith was corrected on their entrance examinations, this was not done. And as a consequence, they were prohibited because there was an error in their form. Now, of recent times, there has been a great upsurge in academic circles worldwide against this kind of practice. The freedom to education is a foundation principle for many countries throughout the world. This pressure has resulted in recent times where in 2006, some 300 Baha'i youth were enabled to enter into university and were accepted as university students. Now, whilst this is a very positive development, and clearly as a consequence of the international academic pressure that has been brought to bear, it's far from an appropriate result. We need much more. We need freedom to enter academic institutions.
Is it generally accepted that the situation of the Baha'is in Iran has deteriorated recently?
That's true, it has. And that's not just from the Baha'is' observation of the situation. There have been a number of international observers independently who have attested to this fact. Of significance is the United Nations Rapporteur on Religious Freedom, who observed that the situation for the Baha'is in Iran has severely deteriorated in recent times. A Lieutenant General, a gentleman by the name of Romero Delary, a Canadian senator who is an expert on genocide, released a statement recently, and he said that the international community should be prepared to protect the Baha'is in Iran from possible atrocities. He said he was deeply concerned that Iran's Baha'is are now being specifically targeted by a regime that has the means to carry out the most despicable of actions. The United Nations, in a special resolution of December the 16th, 2005, noted from the General Assembly an escalation and increased frequency of discrimination and other human rights violations against the Baha'is. International journalists have described recent moves in Iran as pre-genocidal cleansing and as a clear-cut program designed and state-sponsored to result in extinction of the Baha'i community. Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch, amongst other human rights organizations, have expressed their concern for the Baha'is in Iran, and they are monitoring the situation closely.
Thank you, David, for joining us on Baha'i On Air and for giving us an update on the most recent developments with regard to the persecution of the Baha'is in Iran.
It's been a pleasure.